Hi everyone, this is Justin here, Geek of All Trades, and today I want to show how, yet again, I can use 3D printing to fix a problem I'm having here at home. So, in the last couple months, my wife and I picked up a treadmill for her to use to train running, when it's either too hot outside or too cold. And it's been working great. The only issue is, it's not a brand new high-end model, so it doesn't have a TV hooked on. And on top of that, the only real spot to even put anything is too small to even fit a phone into. So what I want to do is I want to use 3D printing to fix that and create a mount that I can put the tablet on so she can use while she's running. So we're going to go over to Fusion 360. I'm going to show you how I did that. And not only am I going to make it functional, I'm going to also try to make it look good as well. So let's head on over now. Alright, so here we are in Fusion 360. And what I did is I went up to the treadmill and I took some measurements, and then I made a little cheat sheet on a scrap piece of paper I had, aka an old envelope, and kind of drew out the general shape of what I'm needing so I can sketch it out. So what I'm going to do is this time I've up to this point I've used shapes. I'm just going to use some lines this time because it's a simple enough shape. So I want to start at the center line. I want to make it 25 long. Okay. Come on, center click. There we go. Okay, so from there, what I want to do is I'm going to create another line. Look at that, so easy. And I want this to be about 5 millimeters deep. I think that's a good good thing there. And then line. Look at that. I made a square. Everybody. Good job, me. So then I need to know how deep I want to make this. And I know that the gap I need to do is about it's a little tapered, but it averages out at about 21 millimeters. So I'm just going to make that my total 21. I want this to go down about 5 again. And then bam over there. Come on. What's it doing? Line from there to there. Bam, there we go. Now we're gonna do this again. I want this to be 5 deep, and this I'm gonna need it to be about 30. Oh, you know what, just to be safe, I want to make it 35 in the back. I want to make sure it's long enough to support what I'm working with here. So that's gonna be 5 deep. Whoa, what did I do? Let's try that again. 5 deep. And up we go, completing that. So now, I had to figure out the angle that the treadmill kind of... Which, in this treadmill, as you change elevation, it also changes the angle that this will be resting on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to a little bit of an extreme to counteract, hopefully, any issues I'd have. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put it here. I want it, like everything else, 5 millimeters deep. And then we're going to look at these angles here. And I'm thinking 45 degrees. It's looking pretty good. And I wanted this to be 60 long. So then I want to make a line. Guess what? Sticking with everything. 5 deep. Line. And up to there. And look at what we have there. Why is that not working out right? Well, that's going to work well enough for our purposes. Oh, one thing I almost forgot. We also need a little lip to prevent the tablet from just sliding out in the front. Especially as it's got this really steep angle. Even though I'm going to change that. I don't like how steep that angle is. It's a little too steep. So why don't we do... we're going to go with 50. 50.6 works. And then what would I make it? 60? Five. Alright, so we have the general thing here. Now, just to speed things up, I had to check my hotkey here. Whoop. We're going to trim away some of these excess lines we don't need. Make it much easier to deal with. And look at the... We have a shape, everybody. Lordy me. So, what I'm going to do is I know I want it to be about 160 high. And as we see, bam, we have a shape. But as you can see, it's just plain, it's kind of ugly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3D print, but what I'm going to do is I want to send it to Meshmixer. And from there, we're going to do something fun. So, default, it's trying to, you know, God, I really need a new mouse. Default, it just wants us to print, but that's not what we're going to do. We're going to edit this, and we're going to make pattern. This is a fun little tool I like to use, but we're going to select dual edges. Is that the one I want? No, edges. And I want them to be, you couldn't guess it from what I modeled it, 5mm a piece. Make it nice and even. So this is the general shape we end up with. Let's just hit accept. So not only is this practical in the sense that you're cutting well down on plastic, it just generally looks much nicer than what it would have before. A big ugly block of filament, you know, just so what, and then what we have here, as you can see, these edges aren't super smooth on the ends. They're not going to want to print super flat. So I just, for ease of the printing, I'm just going to do a plain cut. And I mean, just enough flat edge. And flat and flat. This side kind of had some more holes to it. It's not a perfect process, but it does what it needs. And it, you know, you're not going to look at the sides very often. So look at that. Took me maybe just a few minutes just to make this. So then, like I always do, you know, analyze, make sure there's nothing wrong. It's not saying anything's wrong. It's liking what it's seen. So what we're going to do is we're going to export. Save it to my desktop. I'm gonna name it tablet holder. Bam. And we're gonna load it up in Slicer, print it out, and then we're gonna see what it looks like when it's all said and done. See you then. So after all the printing, this is what we're left with. This is the design. Got this here. There was some stringing issues, but for the most part, it turned out great. Not too much to worry about cleanup. I did add a little brim to make sure it stayed up real well. But besides that, it seems to work great. It fits right over it. We got a little gap here. And it's solid. The tablet fits well, and it works. So, you know, I may not be a perfect designer, but it gets the job done. Alright, so I want to thank you all for watching. If you like what you saw, please give this video a like. Go ahead and subscribe while you're at it, and maybe hit that little notification bell. If you want to find me at my other sites, check me out on my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It'll all be down below in the description. And I just want to say a big thanks to everyone. You really help this channel do what it does. If people weren't watching, I wouldn't have a reason to do this. So I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you again next time.